Lin Zhou is entirely destitute. Because he lacks money, his wife's wealthy family forces him out of their home, sliding stark divorce papers across the table to sever ties with him forever. In this narrative universe, a character's bank balance dictates their humanity. If you have zero capital, society equates you to dust. You are stripped of all human worth and respect. The moment Lin Zhou signs the divorce papers, a mysterious winner system activates in his mind. A digital interface appears, and his bank balance instantly spins from 0 to 1 billion rupees. With sudden access to immense wealth, Lin Zhou doesn't start training for a physical fight. His first destination is the private banking sector to secure an exclusive black gold card. In modern internet wish fulfillment media, financial liquidity replaces martial prowess as the primary tool of survival. Capital has become the dominant superpower. Lin Zhou immediately begins to weaponize his new wealth. He walks into the city's premier real estate office and drops 1.8 billion rupees in cash on their most exclusive mansion, specifically to humiliate his arrogant ex-brother-in-law and a local business rival. To amplify the insult, he points to the second-best property, priced at 800 million rupees, buys it on the spot, and then casually hands the keys to his personal driver as a gift. This animation shows a traditional social hierarchy pyramid. Watch as an oversized coin drops from above, instantly crushing and inverting the structure. Overwhelming financial dominance serves as an instant status override, completely nullifying existing social classes. In the first phase of this fantasy, money functions as a psychological blunt instrument. It is deployed strictly to inflict immediate, crushing regret on former doubters. Lin Zhou moves from personal spite to corporate strategy. He invests 100 million rupees into a failing tech startup developing virtual reality technology, a project traditional venture capitalists have completely abandoned. A rival venture capital firm retaliates aggressively against this move. They bribe a landlord to evict the startup and pressure suppliers to cut off their entire pipeline of essential microchips. Lin Zhou circumvents the blockade rather than negotiating. He rents out the entire 26th floor of a premium technology center in cash and secures an exclusive hardware contract with a national supercomputing manufacturer. This chart shows a stock's trading volume flatlining at 0, but notice how, right after the market closes, the value spikes vertically in a massive after-hours trading surge. Lin Zhou orchestrated a secret 50 billion rupee reverse merger. As the spike holds its peak, it crashes down onto a secondary bar chart representing the rival firm's capital, flattening it into the negative axis. This triggers a catastrophic short squeeze, completely liquidating the rival's margins. The narrative has scaled up. Personal grudges have evolved into structural economic warfare. Market mechanics, rather than physical violence, are used to systematically crush competitors. The stakes elevate with the introduction of Chen Tianxiong, an established, ruthless billionaire. Chen launches a coordinated assault to bankrupt the Su Group, a company run by Lin Zhou's closest corporate ally. Chen weaponizes his industry connections. He bribes suppliers to break contracts and pressures banks to recall loans. Lin Zhou counters by draining the billionaire's cash reserves. He publicly buys unlimited shares of his ally's stock at peak prices, forcing Chen to expend his own capital trying to maintain the pressure. The liquidity crisis cracks open the billionaire's facade, exposing a web of offshore shell companies and illegal fundraising nodes. As these nodes turn red and shatter, the encrypted files reach an anti-corruption reporter, collapsing the empire in real time. Lin Zhou achieves dominance by exposing the over-leveraged foundations of the old elite. He dismantles their empire by turning the mechanics of their own fraud against them. The fallout is immediate. Chen Tianxiong is arrested on live television. His entire business empire collapses, and authorities instantly freeze all corporate assets. Lin Zhou makes a final, calculated move. He establishes a new investment capital firm, specifically to acquire all of those liquidated prime assets from desperate banks at a massive discount, buying a 30 billion rupee portfolio for just 10 billion. Lin Zhou is now the undisputed apex predator of the city's financial ecosystem. Meanwhile, his ex-wife, whose family is now completely destitute, is left to watch his meteoric rise through a television screen. This character arc personifies the system narrative trope, where past humiliations and trauma are forged into a suit of financial armor. This narrative structure mirrors a specific modern desire to see a rigged market turned against the people who built it. For an audience navigating corporate consolidation and financial powerlessness, the fantasy provides a cathartic solution. The modern fantasy shifts from breaking the system to owning it. The protagonist gains enough capital to buy the entire structure and rewrite the rules from the top down.